What's shaking YouTubenites? Welcome to the Cover Price Shaker Show for September 11, 2025. This is the last time I get to say all that. This is the last time. It's the last stop before we make the changes. And it is also the first time that Izzy is joining us for the Shakers tonight. So thank you. Guys, give a warm welcome to Izzy. Izzy, what's going on, bro?
Nothing much, man. It's about time, right? I did say a few weeks ago in the last top 10 rewind video that I would not be disappearing. So took a little break from Cover Price, but I'm back. You got me back, and you got the nice background.
There you go.
Back in there and stuff like that. So we're here, baby, and we got some great books, man. We were just talking beforehand. These books are good, Lando. I love them.
Yep. Dude, I took a quick glance at the list, and yeah, I gotta say the list is absolute fire tonight. Like I said, guys, this is the last stop before we make the changes, which all roll out next week. If you are obviously, receiving the letters and emails from Cover Price, you'll be advised of everything as it happens. But if you're watching us right now, well, it's very simple, guys. Next week, the top 10 now moves to Monday nights, hosted by myself. Izzy will be making appearances. We've got tons of people who are going to be joining us on the top 10. And we're also going to be debuting a new comic book day show that will go live on Tuesday nights. Now, each show continues to go live at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Thursdays, Laura and the crew continue with the Shakers. So there you go, man. So joining me for my last time tonight is Izzy. As I said, we're excited to go through this list. Dude, like I said, we were going through it rather quickly. And yeah, there's some good stuff. So I don't want to keep the people waiting. This is the last opportunity I get to take everybody with me to the O for Abyss. So with that, let's kick off the show. Guys, if you're wondering exactly how we come across making such an awesome list for you guys, well, it's very simple. If you go check out coverprice.com, you will see there's a daily shaker section in which we get to see all the books that are moving on the aftermarket. And in no particular order other than alphabetical order, we are looking at some of the sales that took place within the last week. So make sure to check out coverprice.com. Go check out the daily shaker section if you want to be up to date every single day, because that list does change multiple times every single day. So Izzy, for your first time on the Shakers, what do we got for book number one?
So our first book here is Albedo, issue number 0, the first print, white cover, gray table, 50 cents, limited to 450 comics. Thoughts and images from 1983. This series is known for Stan Sakai, The Beloved, and The Beloved Usagi Yojimbo, which is issue number 2. This one is created by Steve Galicia, and the book entered on Ifirma Felina, a feline officer of Extraplanetarian Defense Force. I love that. Quickly became a milestone in the history of independent comics. Its artwork is underground influences, but it also has some Japanese manga flavors into it. And it all began with this prototype. Yet it was also book riddled with printing quirks. Well, that's indies for you. The first batch of approximately 50 comics features a yellow desk on the cover, but issues with the 4-color process forced Galicia to remove that color for the next run of about 450 copies, leaving the desk gray. To complicate things even further, the blueprint style background intended to be reprinted blue was mistakenly printed in white, necessitating another 500 copies to finally correct it with the proper blue background. That corrected blue patch carried a $1.50 cover price, while later reprints are easily identified by their $1 cover price. CGC does not distinguish these between their earlier printings, which adds a layer of mystery to the census number. So we covered this before, the sale of a yellow desk at a 9.4 that sets a record of $2,280, which sold just a few months later for $7,500. Now the gray desk variant has taken the spotlight with a new high sale of $1,150 at a 9.9, which easily surpasses the past benchmarks of $400 and 9.8 in 2019 and $650 and 9.6 in 2022. Together, these results underscore how scarce these early Albedo Zero printings are and how the market has grown significantly since then. Whew.
Not bad for your first read, but yes, it was $1,150 for a CGC 9.0. Now, I know everybody thinks of this book, this series, this run, and immediately starts to think of Usagi. But the story behind the amount of prints that came out for Albedo number 0, that is very interesting because, you know, the earlier prints being a different color. You had the yellow desk on the cover on the first batch, and there was approximately, you said, what, 50 copies, which is absolutely insane.
There's like 50 upon 50 upon 100 upon 500. It's literally all sorts of numbers.
Yeah, man. And then you've got, you said 450 copies. That leaves the desk gray. It's crazy how, you know, all the prints that followed, they were making these adjustments to the cover, and it gets a lot of love, as you can see on the secondary market, man. It's nuts, dude.
Yeah, it really is. It's one of those books that when you look at it at first glance, you're like, oh, okay. But then when you hear the story behind it, it's also 1983. So we're talking about a long, long time ago here. Some people in the chat probably are not even old enough to remember when this came out. I do, but I wasn't reading comic books. I was a kid myself with this book. Again, printing errors was a thing, and even then they were a thing. In this particular instance, when you have an indie book like this, it's crazy.
Yep. Absolutely, man. But again, I totally understand the reasoning for such a sale because Albedo Zero, the first printing, white cover with the gray table, 50-cent price, limited to 450. Thoughts and images from 1983. Top sale for a CGC 9.0, $1,150. Guys, we're going back, and we're going just as far back, well, to the future. So, with that, book number 2 on the list, we've got Back to the Future number 1, Joffrey's Heidi Ho comic store, exclusive from IDW back in 2015. Now, when Back to the Future was released, it wasn't just a sci-fi movie. It became an 80s masterpiece. The film was forever cemented as a nostalgic portal to a different time, literally and figuratively. It was a great dive into time travel, and for many, it was the first cinematic experience with this type of storyline. This comic brings back that nostalgic pull by answering a long-time fan question. How did Marty and the Doc meet? For diehard fans of the series, this is a major key. It's a fun book to collect, especially with its prequel ties to the films. What makes this book even more desirable is the fact that it is a store exclusive. There are many great covers in this series, but a fan recently chose to make this cover the next big sale. Last week, a collector purchased this book for a new all-time high of $120 for a raw near mint plus. In 2023, a graded 9.8 copy actually sold for $150, so this raw sale is pretty much closing the gap on value. Only time will tell if any of the other 9 graded 9.8s will make it to the aftermarket. It will be interesting to see how this sale affected their value. Now, guys, I know you see all the slides, the data right in front of you, but we all got to take a second to appreciate Izzy's awesome t-shirt, as you can see. Yes, Save the Clock Tower. Love that, dude. Love that.
Save the Clock. I love Back to the Future. It's one of my favorite movies. I got Marty over there with the dock and everything. You probably much can't see it because it's
what is it? A Funko Pop? Is it Funko Pops?
I got a couple of Funko Pops.
Get it, man. Let's see this stuff.
Yeah. First off, you get look at that.
Yes.
I got a little DeLorean. And even what's really cool about the DeLorean, it even opens up and it's like if you look inside, you can see I got the flux capacitor fluxing.
I love this.
I got the license plate. I got a Marty. I got a Doc. It is absolutely one of my favorite movies. I could watch Back to the Future any time of day. I love it.
And you know what's funny is because yes, people, I still watch TV, regular TV, whether it be cable TV, the
You still
regular
got
TV.
cable? I don't got
Yeah,
cable.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
I'm a streamer now.
Did we just become best friends? Yep. But yeah, dude, the Back to the Future movies are always playing on TV, and whether it be A&E, you could be going through different channels, and it's always there, man. And I always enjoy seeing that. Whenever I see it, I always stop and go back to watching those and enjoy the moments. Because guys, Back to the Future #1, Joffrey's Heidi Ho comic store exclusive from IDW, back in 2015, had a top sale for Ron Near Mint Plus at $120.
I'm
Is
loving
it?
the Action Comics homage though.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
it's a nice little homage there.
Yeah, and it's funny because, on the Action one, you got Superman holding up the car. Here, that's not the case. The DeLorean's doing all the heavy lifting.
Exactly. And Doc is really the one running out, which is even better.
Yeah, I love it. Such a great cover. But all right, let's talk about the next one, man. What do we got up next?
Number 3 is Gambit #1, the Chris Bachalo variant 1 in 25 that came out from Marvel Comics back in 2012. It is hard to imagine, but Gambit, the beloved Cajun flavor mutant who first appeared all the way back in X-Men 266, first full appearance, guys, I know, has starred in more than his own miniseries in X-Men's original leader, Cyclops. So when you think about Gambit, he's had plenty of books. After moving up to the main roster in Jim Lee's and Chris Claremont's reboot of 1992, Gambit's story was explored throughout the 90s and the early 2000s in both X-Men and Uncanny. During that time, several Gambit miniseries were published starting in 93, 97, 99, and 2004. After a well-deserved break, Remy LeBeau returned in a new self-titled series by James Asmus and Clay Mann in 2012. Running for 17 issues, the series delved into Gambit's many previous lives as a thief and a spy. There are only 3 known covers for the first issue of Gambit, including a black and white second print and this hard to find 1 in 25 ratio of X-Men veteran Chris Bachalo. Previously, we've only recorded a handful of raw sales of this Ghost variant, which averages around $50. This week, a new high was set when a CGC 9.8 copy traded hands for $350.
Oh my.
Damn!
Now, you're probably wondering why I hit the damn button, but I'm going to explain this to you guys rather quickly. You just referenced that black and white second print, right? And it's crazy because when I think of this Gambit book, dude, I've seen this book in dollar bins all day long. And just to show you guys that second print, I never see it anywhere. I've looked high and low for this thing. I've got the Gambit regular first print, as you can see to the left-hand side. But that second print, dude, is a complete ghost. And it's funny because although the first print is always, and I mean always, in the dollar bin, this later printing, dude, I never see it anywhere. And whenever I do see sales, sometimes I'll see it at $20 Canadian. It's over cover price for sure, right? And the 1 in 25 that we just spoke about now, which is this one right here, the Bacalo variant, dude, complete ghost as well. And we go back to 2012. I don't think there's many copies.
This kind of looks like a homage as well. I don't like something about it screams homage to me. I feel like I've seen this image before.
Oh, now you're gonna have
you know what I'm saying? It's just obviously the legs, of course, but it just feels like an homage to something.
You're gonna have me digging now because I'm kind of curious.
it does to me. I'm just being honest there. Just looking at it, it's like I feel like I've seen this before, but then again, we've seen a lot of backsides.
Oh yes, we have. Yes, we have.
It's kind of like The Graduate. I get it.
Yeah, but very, very interesting sale on this one. I would love to see the census, so I'll try to pull that up at some point throughout the show if I have a chance to. But if not, again, back in 2012, Gambit #1, 1 in 25 ratio. Like I said, I've seen that cover A everywhere. I've barely seen this other black and white cover that you see there, and I have almost never seen this one right here. I to be honest, I have never seen it in person, so very
Yeah.
interesting to see. Gambit number one, the Chris Bachalo variant, the 1 in 25 ratio by Marvel from 2012, had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $350. Where are my Momoko fans at? Because look at this one up next on the Shakers. We've got Peach Momoko Kaigun, 60 Brigade books back from 2016. Now, few artists have stormed the comic world in recent years like Peach Momoko. Joining Marvel exclusively in 2020, Momoko initially broke through with the company as a cover artist before eventually moving on to interiors and writing, most recently handling full creative duties on Ultimate X-Men as part of Marvel's new Ultimate Universe. While she started at Marvel in 2020, Momoko's work dates back a little further, and one of those earlier works has found its way onto our Shaker report this week. Kaigun, roughly translated to military picture, an extremely rare self-published art book by Momoko sold on the aftermarket for a whopping $1,800. This sale of a 9.8 CGC graded copy marks the first ever documented sale in Cover Price's data history. This copy is also the only 9.8 graded copy of this art book currently on the CGC census, creating a unique blend of scarcity and exclusivity. Based on research on the art book, it appears as if it may have been distributed at conventions in 2017, and the print run is believed to be extremely low due to the overall scarcity of the book on the aftermarket, especially with a high-profile artist like Momoko. Currently, there is one single raw copy that's listed over on eBay at $899, while there are certainly more than two copies out there. They are few and far between. If you're a diehard fan of Momoko and this is a must-have book for you, be ready to pony up the big bucks because this is a monstrous sale. Look, between you and I and the chat and everybody who tunes in here, I personally think that Momoko is hit or miss. That's for me, my taste, my opinion. Please don't take it any other way, guys. Momoko fans, it's okay. It's okay. But this cover absolutely it slaps, dude. It is
Dude, I agree.
cover.
I agree.
It is so good. And again, it's one of those scarce books, those hard to find Momoko books, earlier day Momoko books, and Momoko fans, dude. They show up. They show up, man. And
Yeah.
if let's go back to New York Comic Con, man. You remember some of the stuff that was happening there for Momoko?
Oh yeah.
They got rowdy at one point.
Oh, I heard. I wasn't present for it, but I was there. Going back to these books, these convention books, because that's where we usually find these books. Artists bring copies, they do prints, and they're very limited to, what the artist brings. So this is very one of those convention books that has a low print run because they put it out of their own personal money to make these books. If you go to a convention, any one of these conventions, New York Comic Con, San Diego, you name it, C2E2, MegaCon, all these shows, there's artists that bring their art books with them. They're worth picking up, guys, because you're not going to get them anywhere. You're not going to get them, in a retailer store. You're not going to get them in the comic book shop. They're sold directly by the artists. And sometimes the artists may have their own website that they might sell them in. But what's important to note about all these books is that they are very rare and scarce.
Yep.
So therefore, getting a book like this, chances are these books do exist and they might even be signed. So keep your eyes peeled on these books. For 9.8 for $1,800 for a beautiful cover, that tattoo alone is something worth checking out because I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh man, this is a tattoo really in the character. And this one, she killed it, man. This is to me top-notch Momoko.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. This is one of the better covers for sure. But there are many other great covers as well, and I gotta agree with Toy Time Studios saying that she is hit or miss. It
Mhm.
depends what she's capturing. Her horror stuff, is where I strongly agree, man. It's top notch, man. Literally nightmare material, nightmare fuel. Some comic stuff is great, and some are repetitive. Sure, some people might feel that way. I do think she's a phenomenal artist. I love Momoko. Sometimes it's hit or miss, like I said, but it goes without saying that there are hardcore fans out there willing to fork over some good coin for some of her stuff. And this one is a very impressive sale. I had no idea this book existed. I love seeing things like this hit our list every single week because it puts us in the know so that when we go out and we're checking out such things through long boxes, etc., who knows? You might score big, guys, because Peach Momoko Kaigun 60 Brigade books back from 2016 had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at
Mhm.
$1,800. Izzy, yo, I love this. Let's talk about it.
Popeye number 8, Sean Dickinson's cover, RI, black and white, 1 in 10. This is from IDW that came out back in 2012. When it comes to overlooked treasures, this 1 in 10 retail incentive is spinach fuel, proof of a hidden value. Popeye number 8 follows Poop Deck Poppy, new sweetheart, and a hidden treasure map with Popeye, Olive, Wimpy setting out for adventure. But it's the incentive cover that steals headlines. Historically, this book sold for as little as $4 in 2020 and only modest bumped to $25 to $24 in recent years. The previous peak was $85 back in 2018. Now, a near mint raw sold for $200, shattering expectations and marking a new all-time high. Adding to the intrigue, Popeye officially entered the public domain in January 2025, sparking fresh interest in some of his most unique appearances. With only 2 CGC slabs on the census, both 9.8, each selling for $200, scarcity plus renewal cultural relevance makes this a sailor's prize in today's market.
Yeah, dude, I love this, man. I saw this over the weekend, and I actually covered it on my show on Sunday, as a cover price shaker because, yeah, man, I saw this hit the list on Cover Price's website, and I was like, my God, I've never seen this cover, and seeing it for the first time. First off, I gotta say that this is an amazing cover when you've got Popeye giving a nice gut punch to Bluto, man. This is awesome. And
Mhm.
these IDW ratios, man, these retailer incentives are very hard to come across, man. As you could see, a top sale at $200, dude. That is impressive coin for
Mhm.
this earlier 1 in 10. And it's holding some amazing value on the aftermarket right now. A ghost of a book, one that I've never seen. Probably now one of my favorite Popeye covers, having seen this after the weekend. And I love this, dude. I would love to own this.
Yeah, Sean Dickinson did a great job with the animation flair to this because it's animated, right?
Yeah.
And you got the black and white colors. I'm even going to the point that he might have just colored it and just printed it out in black and white because it looks so good in this true classic black and white style. I love the gray tone effects. Bluto getting his Blutoed out. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
His mouth turned into a horn, and my boy Black Spiders, he got something to say about that.
Yeah.
But Popeye is one of those characters that he's in the public domain now, so you could pretty much draw him if you want to, the original version. And obviously there is a renewed interest as a result of that. Yeah, I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today, man.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. And I'm happy that you brought up the animated feel to this, man, and how his like mouth turned into a horn, dude. It takes you back to those times of cartoons, man. Like you look at Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, all that stuff,
Yeah,
Tom and Jerry, dude. Like I loved
I
all
live
of
for that
those
stuff.
things, man. Yeah, exactly. So this cover really captures that. I think it's amazing, and dude, seeing this cross over on the list over the weekend, dude, I marked out big time for that. If you're wondering what that is, that's a wrestling term. Marking out is a wrestling term. But yeah, man, I geeked out over this, and I totally now want a copy in my collection because, guys, Popeye issue 8, the Sean Dickinson black and white retailer incentive, which is a 1 in 10 from IDW back in 2012, had a top sale for a raw near mint at $200. All right. This is one I was excited to talk about on tonight's list. Y'all ready for this one? We've got The Punisher, issue 11. This is the Mike Choi Heroes and Fantasies variant by Marvel back from 2014. Now, in October 2014, Marvel Comics unveiled The Punisher 11, illustrated by Mike Choi, an avid admirer of basketball legend Tim Duncan. Now, if you guys are wondering who Tim Duncan is, I'm sure if you are a fan of the Spurs, you might be very familiar. But this exclusive edition, available only through Heroes and Fantasy stores, was produced in a limited run of 3,000 copies. The cover features the NBA Hall of Famer posing with his customized 2013 Dodge Challenger, inspired by the Punisher's iconic motive. The vehicle itself is a standout, modified at Duncan's own Blackjack Speed Shop. Still, beyond its eye-catching style, the car served a greater purpose. In 2015, Duncan organized a raffle that raised $60,000 for ChildSafe, a San Antonio-based organization dedicated to supporting children affected by abuse and neglect. Today, the Punisher's cultural relevance is on the rise, largely thanks to John Bernthal's compelling return as Frank Castle. Following his role in Daredevil Born Again earlier this year, Bernthal is slated to appear in Spider-Man Brand New Day and lead a dedicated Punisher special on Disney Plus in 2026. Adding to its collectible status, a CGC 9.8 recently sold for a record high $665 at auction, affirming the variant's enduring value in the aftermarket. The story behind that is wicked. When you look at this cover, man, it captures pretty much the entire story that we just put out there, right? From the car to fundraising and all of that. It's very cool to see Tim Duncan here with Frank Castle. But one thing I pointed out to you when we were talking backstage about this, I'm like, man, you know, dude, I love Mike Choi's stuff. You know what I mean? He does great work. But I was like, man, there's just something about this cover that gives me Def Jam Vendetta vibes, man. You remember that video game, Def Jam Vendetta?
Yeah, I do. I didn't play it, but I know what you're talking about. And I love the collaboration here that Marvel has with Tim Duncan, Blackjack Speed Shop. Obviously, we got the car there as well. And then, you know, throw in a charity as well. This book has a lot of purpose. Yeah. And like you said, with everything that's going on with this, you have a limited run of 3,000. It does bring me back to the other books that we've seen collaborations with. You know, you immediately start thinking about the Eminem covers and things like that. But this one just looks cool. It's like, yo, Punisher, here's the keys to my car. Treat it safe. And you know Punisher's gonna wreck that thing. Because that's what Punisher does. It's gonna come back with a whole bunch of bullet holes. But it's a cool image. I think Mike Choi did a fantastic job with it. I like you said, it has those vibes. But you know, that's 2014 for you. That's just how things were back then, wasn't it? Everything was like an homage to something. So there is an homage. I especially like it. This is just a subtle thing, but that little light that's glowing right underneath the H. Yeah. Like that didn't need to be there. And he put that little bit of detail just to show that it's a glow. So I think that is an artist that is thinking what he's doing. Yeah, and I love it.
Absolutely, man. I couldn't agree with you more. I love the detail and the attention to detail, even on your behalf, which is awesome. But here, man, this is what I mean by it reminds me so much of the Def Jam for Vendetta stuff. Like here, look, I'm just pulling up some stills and some images here, and it just look at the graphics, man. It kind of reminds me of that, man. Like we go back, I don't know, man. It's just
man, old school video games, man. Look at that.
Yeah. Good times, dude. These were great times, and I wish they would remake and remaster Def Jam Vendetta because these were some fun times when it came to video games, man.
Like
But
how were they able to make the clothes? Look at that sleeve. That sleeve just doesn't look right, man.
nah,
It's like a puffy sleeve.
it doesn't look right now, but back in these days, man, those were the best graphics we had ever seen in our lives. And here is one of the better Tim Duncan things ever out here because the Punisher issue 11, the Mike Choi Heroes and Fantasies variant by Marvel back from 2014 had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $665. Oh man, Izzy, I could see some people here in the chat that know so much about this book, probably have this book. Michael Baker, if you're here, I see you. You're a prime example. Izzy, what do we got next?
The Todd father himself, Spawn 350, the Todd McFarlane retailer thank you, unsigned comp copies from Image Comics in 2024. Spawn 350 was a big milestone and one that the community celebrated. But Todd McFarlane whipped out the money printer for the one per store thank you variant, which he also signed. But the market shifted rapidly when this version was discovered. A small unknown number of books remained unsigned and filtered out to the community and quickly doubled in resale price compared to the signed version. We saw that it accumulated around $600 for a reported raw near mint 9.2 copy in the mid 2024. Recently, a reported near mint plus 9.6 hit the market and blew the previous sale out of the water, clocking in at $1,650.
Damn!
Yeah, exactly. Early, we saw graded CGC 9.8 copies hitting the market and commanding top dollar with a first selling, ready for this one, $4,351 before falling to $2,700 by the end of 2024. We haven't seen a graded sale since, but with the most recent raw sale, it would be interesting to see a graded copy hit the market and what would be a command price.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. This is a monstrous sale.
I've seen this book in the wild so many times, and it is funny that this is the rare occasion that the unsigned book is more sought after than the signed book.
Well, yeah, because this thank you retailer copy was given out signed, right? And these unsigned copies were very few and far between. And I remember unsigned copies selling last year. Pretty up there already, but now with this big monstrous sale, I am so blown away by this. And you know, I agree with you. Like you were saying, you know, it comes down to we rarely see an unsigned copy worth more than the actual signed copy. I've seen so many signed copies. I saw so many people trying to even sell the signed copies, flip them. And I don't know if you remember, there was also the King Spawn one, for issue 1. That one too, dude. I see a lot of people, you know, pushing those out, trying to sell them, etc. But unsigned copy of Spawn 350, I have never seen, ever.
Yeah, because like you said, they're comps, so they were never intended to be circulated. Nope. So they were meant to be, you know, for the families of the creators and people that work in the office, because Todd did that a lot. Yeah. There's a lot of books like that you know they somehow circulate outside, and this was one of those rare occasions where he didn't sign the book.
Yeah, and look what it's done. It's
exactly
some amazing coin on the aftermarket, guys.
And I love how he's poking at the whole, you know, bags, you know, the pouches with this one. This is one of those. He's just having fun. He's just joshing people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I saw somebody asking in the chat if it was a cigarette that Spawn had. No, although that would look pretty bad.
Yeah, it's a microphone. It's one of those. It's like a gamer microphone type of thing.
It's very much along the lines as, you know, kind of what this guy has. Yeah, there you go. But yes, guys, Spawn 350, the Todd McFarlane retailer, thank you. That was unsigned, a comp copy from Image back last year, 2024, had a top sale for raw near mint plus at an astounding $1,650. Now, let's transform, baby. Let's do this together, guys, because Transformers Universe Issue 2, a fan club 3H Productions from 2004, is on our list. Transformers has lifelong fans who have followed every spin-off movie, every series, and of course, comics. These superfans often seek out clubs that offer exclusives, much like this cover. While this isn't the rarest cover of this issue, for that, we look at the store exclusive, it is still a big draw for collectors. This book recently saw a raw, near mint copy sell for an all-time high of $300, which is 20 times more than its last sale in 2020. Now, look at that, guys. That's a 5-year gap between its sale in 2020 and now. These fan club exclusives are never available through regular retail channels, so the aftermarket is where they shine. This limited distribution and direct connection to the fan base often contribute to the higher value among collectors looking for rare pieces of Transformers history. At this time, there are only 2 copies of this book on the CGC census. Both books are graded at a 9.6, perhaps with a clean and press. This raw book might be the first 9.8 on the census. It could even pick up in value whenever we get more news on the Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie, which I think we all anticipate but are starting to lose a little bit of hope. Please give us the movie. But
It'll eventually happen.
yeah, it has to. But this is pretty interesting, man. I've never even seen this ever. Again, another book that hits the list where I'm kind of like, what? I've never seen this, right?
It's one of those rare ones because I do remember Transformers in 2024, how it was coming in from lower companies and things like 3H Productions. Who ever heard of 3H Productions? You know what I'm saying? And this is This is Optimus Primal, right? So this is a Beast Machine version of the Transformers. If you really look at it, it's a cool cover. It's definitely a different cover. It's a very colorful cover too. And like most people, I've never seen this book either. But again, like you said, it's like it's a rarity amongst rarities. So even with that price tag of $300, that's low for a book this rare.
Absolutely. I do think, well, you know what? Look, I get it that it's currently it's the all-time high sale at $300. And we said there's only 2 9.6s on the census. The last sale that was recorded was back in 2020. So now here we are 5 years later, and it's commanding a $300 price tag. Very impressive to see on the aftermarket. A very cool book. I'm going to be honest with you. Had I passed this in a long box, I probably would have thought this was a dollar bin book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same here. I would have passed it by.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that we discovered this on our show tonight, because I don't want to pass on this in the future if I ever come across it. Transformers Universe Issue 2, the fan club exclusive from 3H Productions, back in 2004, had a top sale for raw near mint at $300. Guys, we are well past the halfway mark, but I do want to remind you, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're just enjoying the show, hit the like button. Comment below if you're catching the replay, and we are 2 books away.
Before you move on, I think this is a connecting cover. Because look, there's an arm. That arm has to be connected to something.
I have no idea. Like I said, I've never even seen this one. So if it's connecting, now you're gonna just completely blow my mind.
Yeah, I think it's a connecting cover. It because there's an arm. If you look in the foreground, you can see the arm, like in the bottom. That's an arm, and he's shooting at somebody. So this one does look connecting to me. If it's just an arm, that's just a weird way of drawing it. That's what I'm saying. But let's keep going, man.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go crazy looking for this.
You have me Google. You have me Googling now to see if it is a connecting, which I'm going to check and let you guys know. But yes,
Okay.
we have two more books that will decide our fate if we are making it to the Over Abyss. So, Izzy, what do we got next?
A personal favorite, Wolverine 145. We're talking about the non-enhanced newsstand edition from Marvel Comics in 1999. Wolverine 145 is a late 90s milestone worth paying attention to. Published in 99 as part of Wolverine's 25th anniversary, the story brought back his adamantium claws after years without them. Most copies hit shelves with the flashy foil enhancements, but the true rarity is the non-enhanced newsstand edition, a tough find to find in a high grade and one that has steadily gained collectors' interest over the years. Combined with the printing quirk, as always, newsstands variants are harder to find in both quantity and quality, especially in the late 90s. So in CGC 9.8 is especially meaningful for this issue. For the hordes of Logan lovers out there, a book like this that contains a key moment regarding his claws is a newsstand and also a unique variant. I would expect this book to at least maintain an all-time value of $600 going forward. Come on, man. This is what we call bangers, man. This is gorgeous. And you know what? I love this version because there was the gold ones, and I'm like, yo, his claws ain't gold. They're like silvery. So
Yeah.
I'm down with this cover. I love this U cover. It's one of my favorites, man.
Yeah, it's a wonderful work, and it is crazy to see. Again, now a book that you do see out there, you'll pay a little more than cover price. That is for sure when you get it in a direct edition. But now looking at Wolverine issue 145 in a newsstand, non-enhanced, pretty interesting premium here because the CGC 9.8 going at $600. And just to give you guys a little bit of a reminder on how we factor and look at the years, and of course we look at the percentage of newsstands that were printed. We just said that we are looking at a book from 1999, so let's go back 1995 to 2000. As we got close to 2000, 5% of books that were put out there were pretty much newsstand editions, and then you have the directs at like 95%. So yeah, they are a little harder to come across, that is for sure. But man, it's crazy to see the difference in prices as well.
I agree. I think this again a fantastic cover, the return of the adamantium, because we were missing the adamantium for a few years. So he was without them for a while, and when this came out, 25th anniversary, everybody went bonkers for this book. Everybody.
Yep.
I remember when it came out, everybody wanted it. So definitely worth it.
Yeah, it's a very, very impressive sale for this one. Like I said, when you look at 9.8s from the Lionel U of this Lionel U cover in a regular direct, dude, I'm seeing 15 bids, $174 Canadian, which is chump change for you guys that are our neighbors south of our border. And yeah, man, it's wild, dude, because Wolverine 145, the non-enhanced newsstand edition by Marvel from 1999, had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $600. Guys, this is the last shaker that I get to host with you. So let's see who's coming with me for the last time to the Over Abyss. Because for the final shaker tonight, we've got Wonder Woman 31, Mike Allred, Batman 66 variant from DC back in 2014. Batman 1966 was a beloved and groundbreaking television series starring Adam West that debuted in 1966. The series ran 120 episodes and also had an accompanying feature film. Though the series itself only ran for 3 seasons and ended in 1968, the series lived long after the final episode. New generations would discover the zany live-action show, and it grew into having almost a cult-like following. In 2013, DC Comics published Batman 66, a series telling all new stories set in the world of Batman 1966 to 1968. 1 year later, DC also used Batman 66 for one of their variant months. 18 titles in 2014 featured an alternate Batman 66 variant, which depicted the characters as if they were a part of the Batman 66 universe, which is so cool, dude. I love that. Some of the variants from this set have become highly collectible. Books such as Justice League 31 and Action Comics 31 have sold for $50 to $100 for raw copies. This past week, another book from the set, Wonder Woman 31, also set a new milestone. On September 7th, a raw near mint copy sold for $160, setting a new all-time high for this book, which is a wonderful cover. I look, hold on. I might be slightly biased because I love my music, love me my guitars, I love me all of that stuff. I love me those types of covers. But man, this cover is sweet, man, crazy sweet. I love this.
Mike Aldred, he's so underrated, man. He is such a good artist, man. I love everything I've seen him done. I've loved from his time with Madman when he was doing X-Force for a little while, he did a little Superman run. But he's always been known to doing these retro covers like this one here, and the breaking of the guitar, that is so punk rock. You know what I'm saying? And the band, someone mentioned the Monkees. I love the Monkees.
Yes.
And it's Batman 66, which I'm a huge fan of Batman. That is my Batman growing up. When I grew up as a kid, I was watching Batman every weekday. Wake up, I watched the movie. I love the movie. Just recently, I got to throw this out. Just recently, this week, in fact, and you can look at it on YouTube. Adam West reprised his role as Batman with Burt Ward in this 70s special. It is by far horrendous. But I sat down and I watched it, and it is hilarious. Dude, check it out. You got to check it out, man. It's cringe. That's how bad it is. And but it has Shazam, it has Green Lantern, Sinestro, the Huntress is in there, Black Canary. You got to watch this thing just to see how bad this thing was.
I got to check it out. Yeah.
Oh, I'll send you the link if I can get a chance, but it's on YouTube. I was watching this thing. It is the best. Weather Wizard is one of the villains. So Solomon Grundy is there too. So definitely check it out. But there's something about Batman 66 that for those of us that grew up watching cartoons, it was one of those things that it's because of Batman 66 I read comics. It was one of those things. Batman 66 and Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Well, those were my gateways to comic books. So to see something like this and come on, Wonder Woman.
My oh my.
Exactly.
My oh my. Yes, absolutely. But Cover Price was hitting us up in the chat, as you could see, and here you go. You got the Action Comics 31, the Batman 66 variant. So another one that we were talking about just now.
Yeah.
And here, let me blow this up for you guys. It's really cool, man, to see. Of course, you got Superman from the years of 66, Batman 66 from that universe. These are cool variant covers that are out there. And man, if ever you come across these, man, in the wild, it's an automatic pickup. Take my money, dude. Like, I love this so much.
Mike Hardwood understands how to draw retro, so he's great.
Yeah. I don't got the comic, but as you could see from this wonderful Wonder Woman cover, that awesome red guitar. Well, I don't got the book, but I do got the guitar. We got the guitar.
Go ahead,
so we're doing good. We're doing good. And now I got blisters on my fingers. But all right, guys.
Oh, man.
Yep, the final book on tonight's list is Wonder Woman 31, Mike Allred, Batman 66 variant from DC back in 2014 with a top sale for a raw near mint at $160. And with that, guys, I took you to the O for Abyss. That's right. Welcome to the O for Abyss. But hang tight, guys. We are going to check out some of the books that are shaking right now over on Cover Price's Daily Shaker Daily Shaker portion of the website. My God, I'm like mixing up all my my words and getting tongue twisted right there.
That's okay, man.
Here, let me share the screen with you guys, and let's see what's going on over on the website. So, if you're not already subscribed, I encourage everybody to do so. You've got the Daily Shaker portion right here, where we could check some of those books that are selling right now on the aftermarket. And this does change multiple times every single day, so do make sure to check it out. Of course, we're going to start with some of the highest sales, and an AF-15 selling at $25,000. First appearance of Spider-Man, 3.5. Yeah, CGC 3.5, not too shabby. If you see anybody in the chat calling out books, let me know, because I'm scrolling through the website and
I'm looking at that giant size X-Men, $9,000 and a 9.6.
Not too shabby. I know you like that one.
That's really good.
Yeah.
16 for that Punisher's first. 9.8.
Yep. Not bad, right?
Yep.
Not too bad. That Ultimate Fallout, man, that had the ultimate nosedive. From, of course.
It's still a top dollar book, though, to be honest.
It is. Hey, we got a $10,000 sale here for a CGC 9.8. Now, it did go for double that during, the pandemic. But
yeah, if you look at the high of that book, it's insane.
Yeah. Hey, man, if you picked this up at ratio price back in the day, you are still laughing. I would happily hold and not sell right now. See what happens as time passes. But Chamber of Chills, this is a wicked cover. We got a blonde in a red dress just in time, because, Laura is now going to be hosting the show. So, yeah, is that what's going on in the aftermarket?
Oh, man. But that's one of those classic pre-code horror books that people just absolutely love, with Chamber of Chills. Going back to that Ultimate Fallout, the high sale of that book is $43,000, and someone actually. But here's the crazy thing: just yesterday, a near mint copy raw sold for $2,100.
Wow,
that's a steal, if you ask me.
That's a big steal, dude. Crazy to see such a deal go through on that one. One of my favorite X-Men covers right here is X-Men 50.
Oh yeah,
love this. Of course, we've got Polaris.
Polaris, that's Polaris. That's the debut of the logo. So that's the first time we get the X-Men logo, and it was done by Steranko. And then of course you got a fantastic Neil Adams Batman there with 241. Yeah,
dude, this cover is just so damn good. So good. Love this cover. What else do we have on the list? As we can see on the first page, this Mickey Mouse book tends to pop up every now and then, and I'm surprised, because I swear.
Yeah, we're getting to Halloween. We're touching its door, so you're starting to see a lot of horror books getting a lot of love. Mickey, of course, gets some love, especially now that he's public domain. It's just weird saying that Mickey Mouse public domain. So you're gonna see that weird mystery book. So there's gonna be some horror books that are gonna be making the list here in the Shakers and stuff like that. And still we're seeing some V Friends. I personally don't get it, but yeah. And Of course, my boy Warlock is in the list, so I'm a huge Warlock fan. You scroll down, you see that one, Warlock. The Strange Tales, one of my personal. That is my guy. Warlock's my guy. So
really.
Yeah, that's my favorite character. So, give me Warlock any day, man. Except not in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah, that was just
they messed that one up.
Yeah. Well, we just hope they redeem him when he does make his next appearance in the MCU. But back to the Mickey one, dude. First Mickey Mouse comic book appearance. This is an automatic something I would want in my collection. 1.0 selling at $2,500. Not too bad. Even in a 1.0, I think it's totally worth the price, and I would totally pick that up. An amazing Neil Adams again over here for Batman 234 and CGC 9.4 selling at $2,040. Great classic books. You were mentioning the Warlock, Strange Tales 180, dude. First Gamora.
Yep.
The Gamora stuff, dude. I remember seeing this book at a LCS, and I passed on it like a big bozo. But it was.
I have a few copies of this book. I don't know. I'm a little shocked that it's going for $1,560. It's sold for $1,560. Look at check out the difference between the 9.8 and the 9.4.
So highest sale is $5,040. Difference between a 9.8 and a 9.4.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at
So
the difference
that's what
9.8 and 9.6, man.
That's what I'm saying is, dude. Okay, so whenever I come across copies, and one that I just recently passed on was $60, but it was by no means a
Yeah.
9. I don't even think it was gonna cross a 9.4. So I was like, no, I'm gonna pass on this one. But $165 for a 9.4, I think is a good deal, dude. Like it's a good price. I would pick that up.
I'm just confused about the difference a 9.8 to a 9.6 is for a book like this.
Yeah.
You know, because it does have a high print run, I'll say. It's the 70s, so I could understand a 9.8 might be a little harder to get in for a book that's from the 70s. You know, 75. This book is what, 50 years old?
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, to get it at that price, like I said, I have my copy. I do have a copy of this book. I have a raw copy, but it's nowhere near 9.8. I wish it is. I wish it was. Now I'm thinking about it, but I wouldn't flip it because it's like I said, I'm a Warlock guy. That's what I want to complete a run on. I want to complete a run on everything I could possibly get on Warlock because that's my favorite dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Warlock's awesome, especially in comics, he's awesome. We'll leave it at that. But yes, as you can see, many other amazing books over on the list. So I encourage you all to go check it out. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so. But one last feature, a filter I love using every week, especially when putting the list together for my shows, is looking at the all-time high sales. So if you go onto the filter section, you could see these all-time high sales. Invincible continues to do amazing things. The 1 in 25 Eric Larson variant right here of Invincible #1, CGC 9.8, $800, guys. That is big coin right there. Big coin for this one. And here's a book I love so much, man.
Monkey.
Yes.
Did you ever watch the TV series? I never saw the TV series.
Oh, dude, TV series was great, man. I know. Look, some people were like, whatever. It was just whatever. I loved it. It was so fun to watch. Dude. Hit Monkey's badass, man. I love Hit Monkey. But I love this cover as well, man. $562. Very impressive. Very impressive. It's hit an all-time high right here with this CGC 9.8 sale. You got Weird War. That is a wicked cover, man. 500.
Weird War Tales is by far some of the coolest comic books you could ever read because you're taking two genres and you're mashing them up together. And this is where we get like the Creature Commandos and things like that.
Yeah.
It's just I love it. Absolutely love it.
What is going on with Partridge Family, man? Because I'm seeing issue number 2 and issue number 6 right here.
Somebody loves the Partridge Family, man. That's all that's gotta be.
Yeah, you got a 9.8 for issue 2 at $408, and then you got a 9.6 at $360 for issue 6.
There's more. If you look down, there's more.
Jeez, man. Yeah, what's going on with Partridge?
Somebody went shopping. That's what that is to me.
That is hilarious to see, man. Yeah, there's more. I don't want to know what's happening in Zodiac Mindware. But Ron Your Mint is $400. I mean,
they all need love, man.
Hey,
all good girls need love.
for sure. But it would take me a full bottle of Jack Daniels. Spidey Super Story. Issue 31. This book is one that I keep seeing a lot of people looking for. I don't know if it's because of the Doom hype or whatever it is.
I think it has to do with Doom. It's a Star Wars parody, of course, as you saw right there. So you got a lot of things going. Like, look at Star Jaws. You got Doom. You got Spidey in the cover together. You got an homage to Star Wars. You got Moondragon, who is one of my favorite characters. Again, as I mentioned before, Warlock. So part of the Infinity Watch, Moondragon. Who I think her time is coming. MCU wise, I think we'll see Moondragon someday.
Yeah.
I think that her day will come. So, and the Electric Company. I love the Electric Company as a kid, man. It was one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I used to watch that all the time in PBS.
I think just having the Electric Company there on the cover, man. It's like a major throwback, right? Especially for those who grew up. With that in their lives. But yeah, man, the Partridge Family continues as we go down this list. An amazing newsstand of Venom the Mace, issue 3, CGC 9.8, $265. Very impressive because again, it's another book that I'll see at $10 Canadian, $20 maximum in a 98 contender. Alf in a newsie, $260.
I had that book. I don't know if I still have it. I have to look now. I may have that book.
Yeah. Cover price. Listen, I apologize. You know, if maybe tonight people won't need to subscribe for the next 24 hours because I'm enjoying going through this list. I'm ready to go through the whole damn list. Electro Lives Again, man. This is wicked. CGC 9.8, $192. I have this Predator, and it's probably a 9.8 contender. So I'm okay, 210. Interesting.
That's a nice cover, though.
Yeah, you got some Dick Tracy. You have so much going on here this week on the aftermarket. Yeah, I love this, dude. Yeah, Steve, I see you, dude. Dick Tracy. Yeah, man.
No, there's a good mix of, you got like, there's a Scooby Doo book there as well. There's some great books in this list, man. Whenever you get the Shakers, it's always fun looking at these books. And then Kangaroo, that's a Spidey villain, to say the least.
Yeah, very interesting. Gwinvincible, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never even seen this April Fool's variant, man. CGC 9.4, $111, so that's pretty wicked. But yeah, guys, lots of great books, and you know what, man, tonight was a great time. So Izzy, I gotta say thank you so much for rocking it with me for the last time and your first time on the Shakers.
My first time and the last time in the Shakers version, right? This version of Shakers. But you know, we'll see. We'll make more appearances as time progresses, man. We got a lot of stuff coming up soon.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And speaking of, do you have anything that you may want to plug? Is there anything up and coming for you,
So I'm starting to get ready for New York Comic Con. So there's a lot of stuff there that's happening. I'll be there all weekend. So I'll be there on Wednesday when it's like preview night. And so there'll be Wednesday all the way through Sunday. So there's that going on. Then the week after that, I'm heading out to Baltimore and doing Baltimore as well. So there'll be stuff going on there. And, you know, as far as my channel, we just started doing another top trending show over there, which is really fun because it's a very different approach to trending books that we do there. And we just premiered it on Tuesday. So that was fun. So all that stuff. And, you know, I just love talking comics. Talking comics, having fun with it, you know, with some of my favorite people.
Same. I'm going to miss doing the Shakers with all of you, taking you all to the O for Abyss, but now I have confidence and I have full faith that Laura will continue the tradition of taking everybody to the O for Abyss moving forward. As I said, tonight was the last stop before we make all the changeovers. So please make sure, hit the bell, put yourself some reminder, because next week, the top 10 will be going live on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then a new Comic Book Day show is going to take place on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, you got Comics Covered going live. Matt and John, the boys from Cover Price themselves, doing Comics Covered 9 p.m. Eastern time as well on Wednesdays and on Thursdays. Laura and the crew, Gabe, Marty, Chris, everybody's going to be here for the Shakers. So you get a nice 4 days in the week of content straight. Not bad.
Yeah. And I'm hearing this. There may be some more stuff coming. So
we don't
I'm hearing
know.
some news. I'm just hearing some stuff from the stratosphere that there might be some more stuff coming up. So who's to say there isn't? But
on the advice of my lawyer, I'm just kidding.
I neither confirm nor deny the rumors.
Yep. But all right, guys, it's been nothing but a blast. It's been an absolutely amazing time.
Oh, wait, we got an announcement.
Yes,
I just threw an announcement right there.
Well, I knew about this. I didn't know if I was allowed to say it, but Wednesday is one episode you don't want to miss because David Nakayama is going to be joining Matt and John for Comics Covered. Nakayama is going to be the first guest. More interview,
one of the nicest guys you will ever meet.
Yeah,
being very honest in saying that. So that's gonna be awesome.
I've not had the opportunity to meet him in person, but I have seen a lot of stuff that he's done, whether it be interviews, etc. And one thing I've noticed about David Nakayama, which I'm sure Cover Price is going to maybe discuss with him at some point, or maybe even throw him his flowers, is yes, he is a wonderful artist and does a lot when it comes to comics. But one thing that he does, I hate to say it in such a way, but better than a majority that are very active as artists, is when it comes to social media, the comic community, etc. He is very active and responsive, and he is so nice with everybody on social media. It is wonderful to see that, and I look forward to Nakayama joining Matt and John on Wednesday, because I think it's going to be amazing.
That's going to be great, man. He's such a good guy. Such a cool guy, man.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, guys, that's it for the last time. It is time to sign off, and I will catch you Monday now moving forward with the new Comic Book Day show on Tuesdays. And Monday is going to be the top 10 show. So until then, guys, be safe out there. Have yourselves a great weekend. We will catch you again next week with the all new lineup of shows. Adios, guys.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
For the entire crew, this is Tebow saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.